I'm so happy. Okay, hold on. Let's do this. Okay. Turn that down. Turn down in my head as well. Hello. So I just realized what the issue was on last night's. First off, hello. I kind of fell off on streaming regularly because my birthday and Anime Expo and things just got too crazy at work. Smello! Hi, James. Things were just too chaotic. So, happy birthday, Littlefoot. That's me. It's just been too chaotic, right? So I took a little bit of a break. I'm back. We're back on our bullshit with Final Fantasy VII Summon illustrations. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm gonna turn down my music even more. I don't think you guys can hear it, but like it's just like in my head and it's just too much now. So yeah, that's kind of the game plan. I'm also stalling for time because I just checked my Apple Pencil and it's at like 5%. So to compensate for that, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a look at what we've done, and we're also just gonna take a look at the the next summon reference material. So I guess where we're gonna start. Excuse me, I'm like dying silently. So today, what we're going to be drawing is Odin from Final Fantasy VII, and I love Odin. I think he's a really interesting. I love Odin because he's a really interesting summon. He has two forms, and we're actually going to be doing both of them. Not today, but we're going to do Form 1 today, and then I think farther down the line, as a rando, we're going to do the second one because it is kind of a random occurrence when you get the other summon version. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. I figured we would take a look at what we've done in the past. If I can get my life together. Hold on, how do I do this again? Yes. Oh, I know why. Hold on, watch this. Magic. I don't know why it wasn't working earlier. So these are the summons that we've done in the past. We have gone sort of in the order of operations of the way that you acquire the summons in the game. Oh, there we go. We are starting off with Chocobo. It's the first summon that you get in the game. And next is Shiva. Shiva's pretty popular. She's got a lot of flesh to show off, I guess is one way to put it. The next one is Ifrit. Pretty powerful fire spell summon. Next was Ramu. And I think Ramu came out really handsome. He was a bit of a pain. There was like a couple of moments where I was like questioning my abilities as an artist. But I think he came out really handsome. And then Titan, which was the one that we did a couple weeks ago. So yeah, we're now moving on to Odin. I think it would behoove me to show off sort of what direction we're going in. So you could see here sort of these thumbnail sketches that I did. So this is the thumbnail sketch of like what we are going to be doing. Give me 1 second. I'm going to be queuing up for you guys where is it? Okay, hold on. Why is this not loading? Hello? No properties available. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Alright, it doesn't want to work. That's totally fine. What we're gonna do is this. I'm gonna load it up on my iPad. So let me do that really quickly while we do this. So it's kind of a bummer. I don't know why it's not working. So I'm just gonna look up FF7 Odin summon and videos. Nice. Okay. And something went wrong. Tap to retry. Oh, do I not have... Hold on. I'm kind of a little... I forgot that we just changed our internet. So we were on Spectrum for the longest time. And it profoundly frustrated us and failed us. So we just have different Wi-Fi, and I was like, why is this not loading? That's why. Okay, so are you gonna work now? Please? Maybe not the music though. Ew. Oh, I see. It's playing on my computer instead of here. Okay, hold on. So got it. Okay. Are you guys ready for this? Okay. So Can I turn that down? Because that's really annoying. The chicken sticker! The chicken has taken the place of the horse's head. No! Make the chicken go away! Alright, so this is Odin's summon. Oh! What just happened? Wait, whoa, hold on. Can we just have one day where I don't have technical difficulties? That would be amazing. Thank you. You like how I have my my airplane named Sephiroth? Like a psychopath? Alright. So this is the summon that we're going to be designing. With the horse of 1,000,000 legs. Goes by pretty fast. So we're going to go back. Take another look at it. Right, so there's a couple of things that I'm looking at. So the color language of the background, the way that the moon is designed, all of that is something that I'm keeping in the back of my mind in terms of how I'm going to build out my palette for this. I really love this like shadow sort of against the moon. I thought that that was incredibly handsome. The fact that his sword is like this really beautiful glowing. And again, his horse, we have to remember that his horse has 2 sets of front legs and then 1 set of hind legs, which in this pose, this looks so stupid. And so I remember now when I was working on this illustration, I was thinking about sort of the moon, the fact that he's a shadow against the moon, there's rain happening, and I think that that's why I ended up in this drawing, because these were the 2 main drawings, these 2 center ones. These were the 2 main drawings that I was looking at and trying to consider, and I thought that the most iconic sort of positioning was sort of that shadow against the sky. But I really love the look of this. The thing is, and here's where, like, as a designer, you start to have, you start to ask questions, you know, what exactly are you trying to aim for? Are you doing this for your own pleasure? Are you doing this for legibility? Are you doing this just because you want to draw something? And for me, I think it's really important that you're always considering your audience in mind. You're always considering the viewer in mind. And so in this case, as much as I really do love this pose, and I think we are going to come back to it later, I think that this is the more successful pose because this is sort of the iconic Odin moment, right? The summon of the clouds and the moon, and he's standing in the shadow. So I think this is going to be the composition that we're going to move forward with. So now that I've killed all of this time, I feel like it's time for me to use my Apple Pencil that I don't even know if I was charging this whole time. Hold on. I don't think I was charging it this whole time. That's fine. You know what? We're going to live on the wild side. See how it goes. Alright, so we're going to grab the thumbnail that we've already designed. We're going to copy it. We're going to go to our gallery mode. We're going to create a 2000 by 2000. I really need to label these things. 2000 by 2000 canvas. And we're going to paste in what we just copied, and then we're going to go into canvas. We're going to go into drawing guide, edit drawing guide. This is a 2000 by 2000 canvas, so I typically work in either 250 grids or 500. I think for the purpose of what we're doing, we're going to be doing 250, and the reason for that is, God, I complain about this every time, but I really hate that this slider is right there. Stop! And, like, of course white is on this side where you're like hitting done. for me, I really want the central focus of my composition to kind of stick within this inner line here. Actually, we can probably scoot it up a bit more. Hold on. So what I'm talking about is this line here. That's kind of where I want to keep the most important information. I want to be sure that I have enough elbow room, wiggle room along the edges of my composition. And make sure that all that's working. Okay, so we're gonna resize this to take up as much of the composition as I feel comfortable taking up. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually make him a little bit bigger here. And kind of get rid of that. And just sort of a bit like this. I feel like for me, that's sort of the vibe that I'm going for, right? So I want to have all of the most important information in that space. Cool. So we're gonna take down the opacity on that, and I'm gonna, on my end, you guys can't see it. Sucks to be you. I'm gonna be looking at my references. Also, I have to pee. I just peed, but I have to pee now, which is really, really irritating. Let's move this up here so that I can see chat. All right, so on my end, I am looking at my reference, and can't hear it, but let's see. I'm just kind of looking at his form right now. I'm gonna thumb through it really quickly. I think I'm at around here. All right, so just looking at his form from the front, the main elements that we can see here is sort of the bulk of his horse, a little bit of the hindquarters probably. We can see his feet kind of sticking out. And remember, his horse has 3 sets of legs, right? Two sets in the front, 1 set in the back. So we have all of that information in here. And then he has his cape, which, because it's like it's the PS1, right? The graphics are kind of cruddy. I really like to have S-curves and everything, so we're going to pop in some S-curves. And then sort of the shape of his upper body is like, he's all head, no neck, traps, shoulders, and that's kind of all we could see. Like, the head of the horse is completely lost. We could see a little bit of a kneecap. You could see very clearly his hand and his arm, and then his gigantor sword, which looks a bit like that, I would say, and then sort of the aura that's around it. I'm just kind of going in, and yeah, see, 5% battery. We don't see the other arm, but his horse is probably like this. That's probably the neck of the horse, and his other hand is probably right there. And then he's got these 2 horns that look like that. And then the volume of this thing that he's standing on, this like Grand Canyon situation, is about like that, I would say. It's zoomed out. It actually looks a little bit more compelling. So I'm just gonna just hint at it a little bit, because I can. And then we have sort of the indication of the other stuff behind here. Right? All right, so here's the thing. What he actually looks like, I'm looking at the horse right now. wish I could scrub through this a little bit more delicately. Okay. So what he actually looks like, what his face looks like, right, is this. And what I thought were his traps is actually his armor. That looks a bit like that. Right? And then the horns are coming out the side of him. So knowing all that information, we have to kind of revise here. So I think what's going to look really interesting is if we have just sort of those red glowy eyes really coming through, and maybe sort of the nose shape. The volume here, I would say, is a bit like that. And this is sort of this upper armor with the S curve coming up like that. And then he's got like the titty shield. I don't know what else you want to call it. And then he's got the pauldrons. Pauldrons. And then this is, he's got like a glove on, and his thumb is facing forward. So we're going to honor that here. And then the sword looks a bit more like this. So it's got that French style, like the covering over your hand. And then the sword is a bit like that. I think that that's where that like that cut comes into play. And because I'm like looking so closely at this, I'm actually making it a little too big. So we're going to shrink this a bit to fit sort of that dynamic. Okay, and then I think this is meant to be curved a bit. A bit like that. So this is just my opinion, but I think he looks so goofy with his feet, even though like that's literally what he looks like, right? I think he looks kind of goofy with his feet out. And so you have to start making creative decisions about like what's going to actually look good. And I think what's going to look good is if his foot is forward like that. And then we actually cheat the horse forward, kind of like how we have in this shot. Because his horse is basically bent over. And it's sort of the front chest area. And knowing that he's got a horse with a shit ton of legs, I think this is also going to help sort of break up that information as well. Man, I really gotta pee. Why do I always do this to myself? I'm like, I gotta pee, I gotta pee, I gotta pee, I gotta pee. But I don't actually like get up to go pee. Should I just go pee now? Before I start like worrying about like the horse legs? Okay, I'm gonna go pee. We're gonna bring the music back up. And do I have? I do. It's not quite working, but hold on. What? Why is it not showing? I don't understand. Hold on. This is all. Okay, I'm back. I had to pee so bad. I was just like torturing myself for no reason. Okay. So, let me just double check, make sure everything's working. Yep, brilliant. Okay. So, we're just gonna keep moving along. So with the horse, and we're kind of looking up at him, I kind of want to have the horse's tail. Do I? No, because the wind is blowing that way, so we wouldn't be able to see the tail. Nani? You gotta go, you gotta go. And I went. I think we're gonna scoot all of this over to the left. Because I can. You can't stop me. She can't be stopped. And that makes more sense on his feet, too. There we go. Yeah. Great. And then I think for the like legs of the horse, so those are going to be the hind legs. Actually, I think we might even, hold on. Do I want to Bambi it? Yeah, I think we're going to Bambi it. Because Bambi has, like, splayed out hind legs. Alright, and then we're going to use purple for this. So I think for the upper body, in the animation sequence, these appendages are all, they all kind of mirror each other. But I think what I want to do is not that. Yeah, we'll bring this one forward. Is that gonna get too messy though? Now it just looks like he's standing on top of like a spider. All right, this is why we do things on different layers, because that's just not gonna work. I really should have just stuck with the original composition. Now I see why I did it the way that I did, because it's just not gonna work. All right, we're fine. Everything's fine. I'm just an idiot. All right, we're gonna draw the world's most disgusting horse in the world. That's what the horse looks like, and we're just gonna keep all this the way that I had it, because I always do this to myself. I'm like, oh, I know better, and then I like start deviating from my sketches, and I'm like, I don't know better. I don't know anything. I don't even know why I'm here anymore. And I think that if I'm concerned about his foot kind of sticking out, we'll just make it kind of small and unimportant back there. And because I really don't want to lose the silhouette of like the horse. And if I make this silhouette too complicated, you're going to be spending so much time looking at that you're not going to be able to enjoy anything else in the illustration. And like even looking at the way that it is in my reference, it's just one giant blob. Which I wonder if I should. I remember why I was having. Oh, my nose! I remember why I was having so much difficulty doing the sketch of this now. How's the rehab going? Hey, Cheech. Rehab's good. I was here. I left. I'm back. Life happens. We were in Anime Expo prep for a really long time, and stuff got really busy with work, and then I was traveling, and I'm just happy to be kind of chilling again. You know what I mean? Wonder if I want to have the horse kind of have that situation going on. Yeah, I think we're just going to keep this sort of an opaque. And what we're going to do is we're going to cheat. Classic rehab cheat. We're just going to cheat this lower extremity area, I think. And one of the ways we're going to cheat it is what a lot of painters will do, which is that they'll have kind of like a silhouette, and then they'll like pick one thing to bring to the front, but the rest of it's kind of hidden in the background. Yay! Thank you for saying you're glad I'm back. I'm happy I'm back too. I've been like hating on myself for not being here, and I'm just like too hard on myself, you know? So I'm happy to be back. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna futz around with the color. So this like teal color, this like desaturated teal that the background color is prevalent in a lot of Final Fantasy VII. Can't begin to explain to you why, other than probably the Mako, right? Because Mako is the life force of everything in this game. And so we're just gonna kind of create this color situation. We're just kind of creating complexity in this teal by layering other stuff into it. And as we get farther down, I think we're gonna do this like darker gray towards the bottom. And it's almost like this color, but a little less saturated. Because I think that's supposed to be like the atmospheric fog coming up. I broke my iPad Pro last week. I accidentally kneed it and the glass shattered. Yo, you need to fucking relax. Don't be doing that shit, man. That sucks. I don't think it's too expensive to get the glass replaced though, right? No Apple Care, and it's $5.99 to fix? Dude, are you in LA? Because there's a place called Frankensons that we go to in like east, pretty far east, like out past it, San Gabriel Valley. And we've had like our iPhones fixed and like gotten a lot of work there done, and it's much cheaper, and they're like pretty legit. I think that's what you should do, man, because that's expensive. Damn. I wonder, can you trade it in at least? And like, if you really wanted to get a new one, could you at least trade it in? I wonder. Would you want to do that? Does that interest you even? Are you just happy to be suffering? Because some people are like that, you know. Some people just want to suffer. Makes them happy. While I talk shit on Cheech, I'm gonna bring in these other elements. You like how I like do all of this work on the sketch layer and then I come back in and I'm like, nope, we're not gonna do that here. We're not gonna do that there. Yeah, it still works fine. It's just the glass. Man, that's brutal, dude. What'd you learn? Don't have knees, I guess, is the lesson here. Man, I would cry. My iPad, I've had it for 5 years now. Still going strong, but I'm definitely sort of on its last legs. Like, it's getting a little too hot for its britches. You know, it tends to kind of overheat a little bit, which is fine. Like, it's fine. I don't need a brand new iPad. Meanwhile, I'm seeing kids out here with like their brand new iPads. I'm like, all right, daddy's money. Like, must be nice. Must be nice to be a child with parents that could afford shit. Like, I was lucky to just eat dinner as a kid. Fuck. But yeah, I would be so upset. I learned to make sure your iPad is on the bed when you jump on it. That part, dude. That part. Yo, I got like the craziest case for my phone now. I don't know how well you can see it, but it's basically like a two-parter. Hold on, I gotta show this off because it's like pretty significant. Okay, so this is my iPhone case, right? It's actually 2 cases. So I've got this like plastic covering on it. Hold on. Okay. So I have this like plastic cover over it, but then there's also this hard shell on it. Because I'm so terrified of breaking my phone because it's such an expensive piece of hardware. That I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna buy like the nicest, most ridiculous. Oh, I didn't swap it. Sorry. Hi. We're gonna do that again. That's fine. So here's my case, right? So it has this plastic bit which can absorb a lot of the shock, but then it's also got a hard shell too. So it's pretty fortified. Seriously though, am I out of focus? Focus. Man, I've shattered every iPhone I've ever had. Get Apple Care, people, you will eventually drop it. I have a gigantic crack. I've had the like security glass on my phone, which is like pretty good. Broke it. I shattered it within like the first week that I had it. Thankfully, it's just the glass, right? Like the safety glass, but still, that sucks, dude. Maybe you should just start having Androids. At least it'll be like a cheaper phone comparatively to break. Cheaper hardware. What's the iPad version for Android? Is it the Nexus? But I don't think they have like Procreate. I think they have Clip Studio Paint, right? I mean, there's a reason why everybody's on the iPad though. Alright, I just want to be sure that that's centered. And then the moon has this sort of yellowy, orangey sort of tone to it. Kind of futz with it a little bit. And I'm going to grab this like purpley color to create craters, I guess. And then mush that around. Maybe even kind of cut into it a little bit here. Make it more moon-like. That. All right. Yeah, the Android tablets aren't that good. Android phones are good though. Yeah, right? That sucks. It sucks that like we don't have... Dude, I almost cussed somebody out. Sorry, that's probably so loud. I almost cussed somebody out at Anime Expo. So they were selling the poor man's Wacom tablets to like all these like little anime kids. And so I was like, okay, bet. Like, let me take a look. Let me take a look. Let me show me what you got. What you got over here? And like, they're selling these like $80 knockoff Wacoms that are okay. I would say like they're fine. But I was like looking at it and I was like, this is not fine. Like you can't, how could you possibly in good faith be selling this to people? Xpen or Huion? I don't know. It was like $80 for their cheapest basic one. And I was like, so tell me, like, I would like ask basic stuff. Like, tell me about like why your frame rate is the way that it is. And like, tell me about the color management system, which is like not very well representative of like what the actual colors are, like what's with that. And then I was like, so why are you guys not demoing on any creative studio? Like, why aren't you using Adobe to demonstrate the capabilities of your product? And this guy straight up had the audacity to be like, well, we don't have a license. And I'm like, you're selling these tablets for $80 at the cheapest one. A Creative Cloud is like not that expensive just to have Photoshop, which is going to be the main thing that people are going to want to experiment with. So why are you... I was like, Adobe is the industry standard. Why do you not have that on display here? we're at Anime Expo. Like, there's tons of kids. There's so many people that are going to want an alternative to Apple products or Wacom to draw. And I'm like, it's the industry standard. Like, why would anybody come to you guys if you don't even have industry standard products for me to test this against? And he was like, well, there's other programs to be using. And they don't even have Clip Studio Paint. Oh, probably not. Those companies, they always demo with Adobe. Yeah, so then it wasn't those. Yeah, no, this was like somebody else that was demoing at Anime Expo this year. And I was like offended. I was like, okay, so let me get this straight. Your frame rate is problematic. It's chugging on this like secondary cheap ass Blender bullshit that you have on here. You don't even have Clip Studio Paint for me to experiment on. And then you have the audacity to look me in my fucking face and tell me that, like, oh, there's other programs you could use other than Adobe, when most people are on Adobe. Excuse me? Like, I was pissed. And I could tell that, like, their staff was also getting really irritated with me because I'm asking questions that any normal professional would ask. Like, hey, why is your color accuracy only 79%? And he, like, literally, this guy's like, yeah, well, it's pretty good. I was like, 79%, you would need to have a second monitor for that. And, like, at best, they had, like, a 92% color accuracy. I was like, for print, that's completely unacceptable. Excuse me? Like, you guys are selling... The nicest one was, like, $300. And I was like, damn, bet. Like, that's cheaper than a Cintiq. Like, I would seriously consider it. So that's why I was looking at it. And then I actually was, like, playing with it. And I was like, oh, hell no! Yeah, it was, like, $80. And I was like, okay, like, bet. Like, let me see. Let me see. And it wasn't, like, half bad. But I was just like, how could you possibly... like, where do you find the audacity? Do you keep it up your butt? Like, how could you, how do you think it's okay to be selling people this garbage? All right. So, as always, I'm a monster and just kind of looking at my silhouettes, making sure that the language looks really good. And, it looks really nice, if I do say so myself. Damn, now I really want to look these people down. We're gonna put this aside. We're gonna find these motherfuckers, because, like, this irritated me so much that I don't want anybody else buying from them. Anime Expo Tablet Company. Exhibitors? It would be under exhibitors, right? Oh, fuck. This is... Cosplay Deviants. No. Arc? No. Drawing tablet. XP pen. It was XP pen. Isn't that? Yeah, XP pen. XP pen are garbage. Garbage. Any XP pen people watching this on YouTube, I don't give a goddamn. Make a better product or have salespeople that actually know what the fuck they're talking about. I was like, what are you selling? Like, why? I was genuinely shocked. I was like, and you guys are asking for a lot of money for hardware. 79% color accuracy? Like, excuse me? What? No. It's like selling body armor that, like, is like, oh yeah, it doesn't stop all bullets. It's like, well then why are you in this business? If it stops 80% of bullets and all of the other competitors are stopping 90 to 100%, you gotta step your pussy up. Someone's gonna die. Like, color accuracy on a monitor? Your monitors don't display correct color accuracy. And, like, there was, like, problems. Here, I'll show you. Like, the pens would do that. Or it would like lag. And I'm like, why is your shit lagging? And if it's the program that's lagging, or your computer that's lagging, get on Adobe and get like decent computers. Like what? Another thing that's bad with the XP pen is the pen pressure activation point. Oh yeah, like it was literally like, and it's me, right? So like I'm doing this, like I'm going up like there's these assholes that are like at the booth that are like noodling, they're drawing anime characters, whatever, they're drawing hands, like they're doing color. And I go up, I literally, like this was my test on their platform. I went up and I was like, this is all I did. Because I want to understand if I'm drawing, what is it going to feel like? And it was garbage. I was just, and like, sorry, XP pen people, like if you're watching, fuck you. Specifically, fuck your sales staff and fuck whoever's building your product. It's a piece of shit. You need to charge more. Make a better product and charge more. I don't give a goddamn. Like, better salespeople at the very least. And just be like, you know what? I'm not an artist. I don't know. At least be honest about it. But don't fucking come at me with this bullshit of like, well, there's other programs. Fuck you. You're asking people to spend $100 in the middle of a fucking recession? $80? $80. That's 11 gallons of gas. You want people to choose between groceries and your fucking tablet? No. Can't even feed people on $80 in groceries right now. Like, what the fuck are you thinking? Made me so upset. I like literally walked away from that booth so angry. I was like shaking at Anime Expo for a good 5 minutes because I was like, I can't believe these people are here and they're exhibiting and they're selling stuff with the audacity to look me in my fucking face and be like, well, there's other programs. Fuck you and the other programs. They're giving these YouTubers free products for glowing reviews too. Of course they are. Of course they are. It's like that one website, Feet Finder. All over TikTok right now. Everyone's like Feet Finder, like Feet Pics, whatever. Like you can make so much money on Feet Pics. But they make so much money off of people signing up for $5 a month to sell the Feet Pics. But then they make no profit. They make like $20 after 6 months. Like, XP Pen is a scam. It's a scam. Like, that $80 that you would have spent on that $250 that you would have spent on a tablet, go on eBay, go on Facebook Marketplace and buy it secondhand. Buy some of Abuelita's like old iPad because Abuelita died. Like, buy Apple products. Like, I'm sorry, there really isn't anything comparable, like even remotely comparable on the market. Like, please just stop upsetting me. I cannot. Meanwhile, I'm just like continuing to draw because I'm like needling so hard. All right. So, we're going to do something a little different that we've done from, other days when we've done drawing. Typically I'll work and like build everything out in its silhouette, but this is a little bit going to, I would say a little bit more painterly just because of the nature of the fact that we are working with a silhouette. I do, however, want to honor the fact that we do have geometry here. So what we're going to do is we're going to invert this. We're going to take down the opacity quite a bit. And we're going to work in multiply and we're going to work in color dodge to give bounce back light and wrap around and ambient light. That's going to give you the sense of what the volumes and the forms are of this character. So we're going to start with, I think we're going to start with color dodge. So we're going to grab sort of this yellowy color. And I love doing this sort of like ambient glow situation. And we're just going to draw it out. So the brush that I use, it's from the Red Hen brush set. And so it's creating, or you can see it here. I'm doing just up and down only. I'm not doing out. I don't want it to blur. I want it to give that effect of like light peeking through. And one really good way of doing that is to pull it up and down. And then we're going to create another layer, which is going to be also a color dodge layer. And we're going to come in with the pencil and we're going to block out sort of the side of his head. probably the side of his armor, like this. And we're gonna clip it in to his body, like that. So even if I draw along the side of it, it's not gonna bleed out, right? So his pauldrons, a little bit there, kind of be a little indicative of that finger at the front of it, a little bit of his leg coming through. The side of the horse, sort of the geometry of the horse, the side of the leg, kind of peeking through there. Did my pencil just die? Girl, no. Did my pencil seriously just die after all of that? After all of that drama? Hold on. Sometimes plugging it in helps. Me out here talking all this shit about hardware and I don't even have it properly charged. I was at 5% an hour ago, so it would make sense that it's not going to want to work right now. Okay, so it's working. Yeah, my battery is pretty low. This is also kind of another reason why I'm kind of speed running this a little bit, because I know I'm low on battery. All right, like that. And here, to be sort of insinuating the shape of the left side shoulder, his left, our camera right, we're going to be using negative space from the cape, and it's where the light isn't hitting that tells you that there's something in front of where the cape is. He's got that titty meat here, and then we have the horse. So I think what we're going to do for the horse is we're going to do sort of the side of it like that. Probably the ears a little bit. Kind of cut into it just to make it a little bit sharper. And then just a little bit of sort of the hair and the mane of the horse. And then maybe a little bit along the side. A little bit of that nostril. And then we're gonna do a little bit of the nose, I think. Have a little bit of bleed here, make it a little bit sharper, a little bit spicier. Make this a little spicy. And you can see that I'm also biasing an edge. I'm biasing the left side. It still amazes me how fast you work. Yeah, thank you. I'm going kind of slow because I'm like taking my time to like explain what I'm doing. But I love it. I guess people call it speed running. I love speed running a painting. A bit like that. Yeah, I think something like that. So we're going to take this color, and here's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna do that. We're gonna pop that in, and that's sort of the back legs. That's it. I don't give a goddamn. Maybe we'll even like, just to be like, oh, there's like horse legs back here. Maybe we'll do this. A bit like that. Soften it up just a little bit. And that's it. So I think what's going to be a little bit interesting here is if we go in and we go to color, take it down to maybe about like 60% opacity. So he's got sort of these like golden elements. His skin is golden. He's got little golden elements in his horse like that. In his body here. He's got a bit of blue, like this brighter blue in his kneecap. We're going to take this sort of grayish shade, and I think that's going to go too purple, right? Let's take it out completely and just kind of buff in some color variation here. His horse is pretty white, so we'll take that blue out. And then we're going to smear it just a little bit with the smear brush. Because at a distance, you don't really perceive color really strongly. You perceive values. So we can see a little bit of that yellow. We can see a little bit of that gray, but it's not super important. Like, that's not the most important thing that we want to be looking at anyways. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do the color dodge on this layer. And we're going to do his like glowy sword bullshit. I don't know what else to call it. It's this like echoey, glowy. I think it's meant to be sort of this like flame or like an energy beam that's going around it. So a problem that we're having right now is that with the moon there, we're actually losing some information. So I think what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to move that moon up. And because I know this is how Procreate works, it's a little risky to just be moving stuff around, especially if it's moving outside of the canvas, because then it gets clipped. So we're going to move it up on a different layer and just see how we feel about that. Feels great, right? So like just experimenting, and like if we like it, great. If not, like we have the other layer where it's not getting clipped. And you could also just kind of scrub. And I think the superior choice is the moon that's higher. So we're gonna get rid of this layer because we don't need it. And then this sort of bluish color, I really want to reintroduce into the rest of my painting. So I'm probably, probably going to put it here, clip mask that in, and just gently pull it into this form. And then even, let's see, where is this layer? This background layer. We're going to clip mask into that. Just so that our colors are feeling a little bit more cohesive. And then I'm going to take a little bit of this purpley color and I'm going to introduce that into this color dodge. Just to break up that blue. I know it's like a really small little thing, but I do find that it helps. And then we're gonna un-alpha lock that, and we're gonna take this blue. So this is something that you don't see in the original because it's, again, PS1 game. They don't have really dynamic, complicated shading or lighting at all in that game. But the way that light works is that you have a light source. We have several light sources here, actually. You have your primary light source, which is the moon, right? This bad boy back here, right? That's a pretty big light source. Another light source is going to be the sword and the energy beams that's coming off of the sword, which is like this bluish tint. And then you also technically have a light source in this fog. And the reason for that is it's moisture. Moisture is water, and water does what? It reflects stuff, which is also why on a cloudy day you have some of the best conditions to take photos. It's called ambient occlusion. They look like Lego people. Yeah, they all look like Lego people, but we don't have to draw Lego people, right? So we're gonna be using a little bit of bounce back light now, and so we're gonna go into color dodge, and we're gonna start to go in. It doesn't have to be super crazy, especially on these areas where we know that this is his metal sort of gear. And we can really intelligently make decisions about how we want that sword to affect the volumes around it. Probably have just a little bit here. And then you're going to definitely have from the moon a little bit of light as well, right? Because it's backlit. And it doesn't have to be like this overly complicated process where you're just like putting in all this labor into it. Just take your time. Be curious about sort of what this would look like in reality. And experiment. And like think about the things that you want it to be pointing out. We definitely want to be framing his face, right? Maybe a little bit of the horse ear. And use the light to be able to convey information about these values and these forms around in your composition. I think I want a little bit more of this yellow, sort of. Did my pen die again? Y'all. Cannot. So I have this problem with my cord or my charger. I keep forgetting which way this thing is supposed to be pointing. And as a result, I think that my pencil is charging, and so it'll be on there for like an hour or 2 or 3, and then I take it out and I'm like, oh, it's still at 0 because I put it in backwards. So I always have to like double check and be like, okay, it's in, because it's not falling out really easily. You know what I'm gonna have to start doing? I'm gonna have to start using a backup. That's what we did when we worked in the studio. We would just have backup pencils that just like sat in a drawer, and like we would just swap them out because we're a hot mess. All right, so we're gonna make this pretty small, and we're just going around sort of the edge of him. I don't want to cut too much into the form. And I just want it kind of the halo effect around his upper body. And if you take a really good look at sort of modern concept art, a lot of them do this trick where the upper body has a lot of information, but the lower body doesn't. And so it's just these abstract shapes as you get lower on the body, which I always thought was really interesting. Having that red there, I think, is really interesting. And it really stands out, I think, by choosing to make these choices. And then we're going to go in with multiply, and I think we'll use this sort of off gray and just see how that feels. And make sort of these darker areas just a little bit darker. Right, so like the inside of this helm, maybe even the horse's hair. Carve out the horse's neck, maybe even the nostril a little bit. This outer edge of the horse. Using sort of the side of my pencil for that. These like back leg elements. His foot. Sort of this crevice in his hand. The sword. Maybe even into the sword just a little bit, just to give that the tip of the blade a little bit more of a spiciness to it. And he has this sort of like divot like that, and he's got this like look on his face. He's like this. He looks like that. Oh, it looks amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks so much. Yay. Yeah, so just kind of like doing just a little bit more, like a little bit of labor there, right? Like it really starts to come together. And if you think about it in terms of not line work, he's coming for you. He really is. Look at that sticker placement. Oh my God. die. Hey, Tag, what's up? Odin is so sus right now. That was amazing. Oh man, top 10 Twitch moments for me for sure. So yeah, I forgot what I was saying. It must have not been very important. Oh, yeah, so thinking about your work in terms of, oh, that's it for my pencil. All right, I think my pencil's decided that we've had enough today. But yeah, I think the thing that's really important is like thinking about your work in a way that is not necessarily focused on line work, not necessarily focused on color. You're really thinking about form, you're thinking about volume, and you're thinking about light. And that light information, the way we're able to see anything is thanks to light. And the information that the light gives us, the way that the light bounces or reflects off of an object, whether it's occluded by an object, that tells you so much information. So yeah, I think that's about it. We got a sussy boy, got a real sussy boy done today. He's looking at you. He's triggered. I don't know what's wrong with me. Oh, triggered Odin is so funny. Why is that so funny to me? Oh my god, I'm dying. Okay, so anyway. We've completed a sussy boy today. I think the next on the list, I want to say, is Leviathan. I think Leviathan is next. I don't remember anymore. I don't even know what day it is anymore. But we'll be back next Wednesday. We're trying to get back onto our regular streaming cadence. I start the stream at around 8. It's 7:30 some days. It's 8 others. So be here or don't. That's totally fine. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you're taking care of yourselves. If you're in San Jose early August for CrunchyCon, I will be at CrunchyCon, so please come and say hello to me. I will be cosplaying, and yeah, I think that's it. I think we're ready for Party Parrot mode. We're gonna do Party Parrot. Hold on, we're gonna do Party Parrot like this first, because Party Parrot is life. Oh wait, hold on. Ta-da. At Party Parrot is life. So let's do a really quick IRL Party Parrot. You ready? Okay, I love you guys. Bye. No, I didn't realize my outro's not working. That's fine. We'll do it here. Do 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 little loop. Do 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 little loop. Bye guys.